I needed to do a setup for this new set that I'm building here, and I figured why not do a story time. I don't have my microphone set up just yet, so I have this really janky arm that doesn't really support the weight of the microphone. Sorry if that was loud. So this is what we're going with today. So story time. This happened a couple of weeks ago and it's pretty cool, but it sucks for the people that were involved, which caused me to discover this. So my studio is next to the freeway. Man, I really wish this was higher. Should I just hold it? This is annoying. I guess I'll just hold it. I need to get my boom mic in here. But anyway, I digress. But my studio is right next to the freeway, right? I heard a loud noise. There was a car accident. And I was getting ready to leave for the night. And I happened to check the map to see if the accident had cleared so I can, go home. Well, not only did it not clear, there were two other ones that had happened. Just massive traffic going both ways. And of course, I was kind of trapped. So I decided to take a back route home. I honestly don't know how to describe this, or what you would even call it, but I discovered this house. Yes, this is not a place, a business. This is a person's home. It was set up like some sort of 1950s, 1960s, like garage, like a quick stop, like stop and go, like a gas station type of thing. This is so cool. It was incredible. Neon signs for days, vintage gas pumps, vending machines, signs. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. So I immediately whipped around, parked, got out, and I had to take a couple photos. Now, I wanted to be respectful and not enter the property because, it's somebody's home. You got to be respectful. So from the street, I was snapping some photos. I had Paco with me that day. He tends to hang around the studio quite a bit, but unfortunately, he's not here today. So I spent like 10 minutes just trying to get some good angles, which there really wasn't many available without entering the property. But Paco was in the car. I didn't want to wait around. So I got back in, and right when I got back in, I saw someone walking through the open garage. I was like, oh man, this is an opportunity. I could try and go in there and look around. Figured this was the only opportunity that I was going to have to even maybe get a closer look at some of these signs and maybe snap at least one good Polaroid photo, because I really wanted one of those. So I got back out of the car and stood on the street for a couple more minutes. The person never came back out, and I was like, yeah, Paco's in the car. It wasn't a hot day or anything like that. The window was down and he was just, chilling. He was fine. So I pulled my phone out and snapped one last photo and was like, oh, okay, I'm out of here. And right when I was about to walk away, this guy comes out of the garage, sees me, and is the nicest guy ever. He immediately calls me over. He's like, come on in, check it out. This guy is a complete stranger. His name's Aaron. I ended up hanging out with him for like an hour. Again, I felt bad for Paco in the car, but it wasn't hot out and he was in the shade, but still. So I ended up just walking through his epic garage. This thing was absolutely incredible. He is a contractor and his hobby is collecting vintage neon and other sorts of signage, gas pumps and old Coke bottles and things. Like, it was absolutely incredible. I didn't really get too many photos of the inside, just a few. There was so much. It was sensory overload in there, and I didn't want to be too disrespectful and just be snapping photos, and I really wanted to get to know this individual because I really want to come back, hoping that maybe I could sneak in an interview with him at some point, because he was a really nice guy and I really wanted to show off his collection. But he was totally willing to let me take some photos. He was kind of encouraging it, so I was able to at least snap a few. Didn't get much video or anything like that because, again, this was a stranger's house and I was trying to be respectful. But he had classic cars in the garage. They were stacked up on lifts. He had an old bread truck, that he just gotten. So cool. He was working on some van. I don't remember what it was now, but he was working on that when I walked up. But a lot of the signs were from local areas here, but some of them were from around the country. He'd buy and ship them over here, and he's just a big collector of these things, and he lights them up at night. I really want to go back at night and check these out. So I did ask him if he'd ever be open to an interview, and he said possibly. He did refer me to one of his friends' YouTube channels that he had started and did an interview, and I'll actually leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. That way you can get a better idea of this guy's epic garage. It's pretty sweet. But he wasn't totally opposed to it, so hopefully that works out. And by the time I was leaving, he invited me back. He said, come back anytime you want. And I'm like, that is so cool. And so hopefully I can go back and with a proper camera and document some of this stuff. I can't even begin to describe the things that he has in there. He's built. He has like an 8-foot robot fireplace that he made from scraps. The garage itself, he built from scraps, and he made it to where there was windows so people could see from the street. Like, he really wants people to come check it out. That is incredible. And I never would have found this guy if I had gone home the normal way, all because of a couple car accidents. I was able to meet this individual, hear his story for a little bit, snap some photos. So cool. I mean, it sucks for people that were in the car accident though. I hope they were fine. I don't know. I never saw anything on the news, so I'm assuming everything worked out. I don't think anyone died. My good friend Dave Knopp, you know Dave, he's a friend of the channel. He's been on here a bunch. He's been encouraging me to start my own instant photography meetup. Kind of like what Policon does, but do my own out here in the Pacific Northwest. And I was like, oh no, that'd be pretty fun. I mean, I have the space here now at the studio. I can invite some people over, but my studio is kind of isolated. There's not a ton of photo opportunities, but it is right next to hotels, so people could fly in, stay at the hotels. There's a casino down the road. You can go there and gamble, win some money if you want, and then hang out at the studio. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I want to go back to this guy's house and maybe ask him if he would allow a group of people to come by and do some photos, because everywhere you looked at his house, it was a photo opportunity. It is beautiful there. And he calls it, I believe, the Oasis Garage. And I think he would be up for it because I know he does host some stuff there he was talking about. So I am going to try and build this relationship with Aaron and see where that goes. And it's not really that far from my studio. And if I do start a instant photography Policon type thing here, that would be a great place for us to go hang out for just a couple of hours, talk to him, get some cool photos. He has cars. Oh my gosh, it's really cool. What do you guys think? Would you come out here for that? Let me know. I'm seriously considering getting something put together for out here in our area because there really isn't anything going on. It is so cool. Oasis Garage. Hopefully this won't be the last time you will be hearing about the Oasis Garage. I do plan on keeping that relationship going. I need to stop back over there, but maybe give a little bit of time. Winter is coming, so I might have to wait a few more months. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Would love to know your thoughts on this. Now get out there, make some art, and maybe take a different route home next time. You never know what you might find.